Hello everyone, Andrew here, and welcome to today's random game of the day, which is Yoshi Story. Now, it's kind of interesting. This is kind of the weird sequel to Yoshi's Island, and I find it kind of funny because, when new Nintendo games come out, such as A Link Between Worlds, or, Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, a lot of people ask me, oh, are you going to get it and things like that? And very recently, Yoshi's New Island on the 3DS came out, and not a single person brought that up. So, I don't know, maybe people who watch my videos just don't like Yoshi or something like that. But overall, this is a very strange game, and I got it back when I was a kid. I did get it new. And, yeah, it's very interesting. So I figured, it's actually a game I've been wanting to do for a random game of the day for a long time. As you can see, there are 6 worlds with 4 levels each, for a total of 6,000 levels. No, for 24 levels. It's not a very long game, especially if you only play through it once. Like, on one playthrough of the game, you only have to do 1 level from each world. So that means 6 levels, and you're pretty much done the game. I remember being like, really, whoa, when I was a kid, because, it's like, wow, that was really short. There is a lot of depth to it, though, if you try to go after, like, high scores and find secrets and things like that. Also, my sister, I haven't actually been serious with this game in many years, but my sister actually really likes this, so you can probably tell what her name is based on the kind of high scores and things there. Someday I'll have to actually care and beat her high scores. But overall, the way it works is, obviously, it's like a story, and you go through worlds, which are, obviously, chapters or pages, as it says there. And right now, in my cartridge, in the playthrough I was going through, whenever the last time me or my sister played this, we were on page 2, so I figured we would just do a level or 2, and everyone could see just what Yoshi's Story is like, if you've never played it before. Although if you have played it, I'd love to know exactly what you think about the game in the comments below, because people know I always reply to the comments, because I love hearing what people have to say, and appreciate the time that people put into watching and commenting. Without further ado, there we go. So, yes, so page 2 is kind of the lava cave world. And as you just saw from the level kind of select screen that you can do, there are 4 levels in each world, and I think we'll just do the basic 1 level, or level 1 of the world. And your lives are represented by the different colors of Yoshi. Now, the white and the black one are special ones that you have to find throughout the game, and they have special abilities, but I usually just stick to the main ones, because once you lose them, they're gone until you start again, although the white and black one you would have to find again, and I don't want to have to do that ever again, even though it's not that difficult. But we're just going to go with typical green, because why the heck not? One of the things you can do, you can sniff around, and you have to find stuff in the ground. I'm going to get into the whole kind of points and things. Where is the thing? Okay, so basically the way it works is it works a lot like Yoshi's Island, where you eat enemies, you get eggs, and then you can you can throw those eggs and do things. You can also sniff around, and you will sometimes find secrets in the ground. You get the ground pound, which is a typical thing that's been in Mario games. I think, was Yoshi's Island the first Mario game to ever introduce ground pounding? It might have been. Although you have coins here, and if you press start, we can see what our score is. Now, if you're really into it, you can, do what like my sister is doing and see how high of a score you can get, but otherwise, it's actually really simple to beat levels, and they don't require you to find many secrets. Also, we have those talking blocks. It will give you tips, and we have egg blocks, which will give you up to 6 eggs. Also, we have that, and yeah, so you hold the the Z or the Z button, and you can aim all over the place. The aiming is definitely a bit different than in Yoshi's Island, and you can shoot these bubbles right here, which will give you, sometimes will give you fruit. And the point is, you'll see those dots all the way around the screen. I was pointing at the screen even though no one can see it, so I wasn't paying attention there. And once you fill up all of those dots, that is when you beat the level. So I've never really liked the fact that Yoshi's Story, the levels don't actually have endings. It's just whenever you find 30 fruit, that's kind of it. And it's overall not the most difficult game either, considering there's fruit all over the place, and those fruit give you, health. If you press start, you will see what lucky fruit and the favorite fruit are. You'll get more points when you eat those kinds of fruits than if you eat other kinds of fruits. Also, melons, not watermelons, but the one that's actually in the top left, there are exactly 30 of those in every level. And if you can find just all 30 melons, that's usually the best way to get a lot of points, because each one will multiply as you get them. So like the first one will be worth 1 time scored. If you get 2 melons in a row, it'll be worth 2 times and 3 times and so on. So you can really rack up a lot of points that way. Also, this is Poochie. He finds secrets such as the one right here, and that is a big heart. Now, every single level has 3 big hearts hidden in it. And depending on how many big hearts you find, that will determine how many levels you have to choose from in the next world. So, as you saw, when I was on the World 2 map, I had all 4 of them to choose from, which means I found all 3 big hearts in whichever level I played in the first world. Now, so finding 1 big heart in a level will, give you access to 2 big hearts gives you access to 3 big hearts gives you access to 4, no big heart just gives you access to the first level of the world. So, yeah, it's it's interesting. Also, blue blocks, I believe, can be broken. I thought you could break them with the ground pound, but apparently only with eggs. Everything only breaks with eggs. But as you can see, it's kind of the successor to Yoshi's Story, but it's kind of not. Also, I have no eggs. Kinda stinks. Is there a block around somewhere? Also, we have a bee guy there who gives you full health. But yeah, look at all this fruit that I could be eating if I had eggs. I'm pretty sure there's some... you can bump into bubbles enough, and they will eventually shrink until they pop. But it takes forever. So, it'd be just quicker to go and find eggs somewhere. And, do it that way. Although I just want to see, how long does it take? It doesn't usually take... There we go. And there is a melon. Come on, where's all the eggs hiding? There they are. And which side you hit it from determines which side the eggs come from. So it's kind of like Mario Brothers 3, although I've always really hated that. Anyway, if we do that... that was kind of a fail. I missed that one. And yeah, there's lots of fruit. So, I mean, I could, be going for score. So then I'd only really want to get, the normal watermelons and normal melons. But I'm not really too worried about it. Also, mini hearts like that give you invincibility. And, invincibility is kind of self-explanatory. Although it will sometimes also cause coins to appear that you can only see when you are invincible. Also, being invincible gives you infinite eggs, which is quite nice. So, it's like shoot all the things while you have, heart power there. Guess that's a good name for it. Also, these guys here are not too difficult to kill. As long as you have a few eggs in your inventory. You can also jump on their heads and ground pound them, but why would you if you don't need to, right? Also, Lakitu is in this game, and anyone who, watches my videos will know that Lakitu is a jerk. You can grab his cloud, which is pretty cool. And you can find some secret areas, so before it disappears, let us grab that and go up here. Get some eggs and vases. I was going to say replace pipes, so that's kind of a lie. There are also pipes in this game. But vases will teleport you to different sections throughout the level. And yeah, you'll be able to find some secrets that way, such as this one right here, where we have 3 of these guys. And wow, that was a waste of one. And I'm 1 egg short, darn it. But I missed one. Yeah, pretty much they each take 2 hits, of course, right? I don't think I'm going to be able to get onto the head of this one, no. So before we die, let us go out, get some eggs, come back in, and defeat this crazy guy. Hopefully if we go out and come back in, we should be able to try again. I think. I hope so. It looks like we will be able to, so let's do that. And how about the eggs? Don't go off the edge where I'm never going to be able to get them. Thank you. Ugh. Hopefully that's 6. Wonder if it would be possible to glitch it and somehow get 7 that way. There's probably some way out there to kind of break the system and get more than 6 eggs. I don't know. Maybe. Someone who knows everything about Yoshi's Story can post down in the comments exactly how that would work. I'm still missing one. Okay, something here is weird. I don't know, but one more try. There we go. And what do we get for all of our hard work? 3 melons. So yeah, as I said, melons are definitely kind of the most sought after fruit. I almost said vegetable. Because if you really get serious and go for trying to find all 30 of them in each level, it's not an easy task. But as you can see, we almost have all of the fruits around the screen full. How do you actually remove that? L. That's right. So you don't have to have that around the screen the whole time. Although pressing start will bring that up. So I mean, if you want to do that and challenge yourself, the game becomes way more difficult. Otherwise, the levels are actually extremely simple, and you can usually collect 30 fruit in like less than 5 minutes. So, yeah, it is kind of it's just weird. I mean, you have to motivate yourself to go for the score. It's like the game is very easy unless you make it difficult on yourself, which I don't know how to feel about that. It's kind of strange. It is kind of a shame too, because the levels in this game are actually really cool. They're really expansive. They're usually pretty big, but usually you don't even get to see them all because before you get anywhere, you're usually already at the maximum number, the required number of fruits. So look at that. We were within 5, and now what do we have? Like 2 more to go. And we've probably seen like a quarter of the entire level. So it's kind of a shame in that regard that anyone who doesn't feel like putting in the extra effort will never really get to experience the game. And I think that was one of the main problems I had with it as a kid. Was when the first time I beat it, I was like, wow, that was really kind of short. Not amazing. But if you do challenge yourself, that's when it becomes fun. Although, again, I'd rather have the game challenge me than have to create the challenge myself. But it's kind of like a Game & Watch game. It's you want to go for the high score, so you just search out those melons, and it is fun to do. It's just a bit weird because most games don't make you do that. But yeah, 1 more fruit and we complete everything. But yeah, so we could get that melon, but then we'd be missing stuff over here. Like there's some pretty cool stuff that you do miss out on, unfortunately. When you just kind of cheat out and like look at all these fruit I could be getting, but I don't feel like it. Let's see, is there anything cool? I know that there's a mini game around here somewhere. Where is it, though? I could have eaten that. I believe it's this. Also, I should note, these are checkpoints. I kind of forgot to mention them. If you press A while standing on top of them, they will teleport you to the other ones that you have found, which is actually really neat. And that just kind of goes to show you the fact that there's actually, things that teleport you from place to place. The levels definitely are big, and there's 4 of these guys in every single level, so the levels are quite expansive. But again, unfortunately, unless you put in, like, challenge yourself, you're never going to see them because it's extremely easy to get 30 fruit without actually, doing that. But with that said, let us do the melon minigame. And the way this works is you do this, and you grab the stack of melons just like this, and you need to get to the finish line without letting them tip over. So you can take as many or as few of them as you want. Of course, if you want to get all the melons, you're going to want to take the whole stack of 7. Otherwise, you could just take, like, 1 or 2. If you drop them, though, you're not going to get them, of course. And there you go. So there's 7 melons, but I only need 1 of them. Also, eating 7 melons in a row will produce a small heart, so it will give you invincibility. But we're not going to get to see that because 1 melon, and there goes the level. So with those melons right there, we pretty much would have collected half of them. But we still would have needed to do quite a bit of exploring to find them all. But yeah, level complete. So Yoshi Story, a very interesting game. I mean, if you put in the effort, it is a lot of fun. But otherwise, the levels, they're very quick. And, you don't need to worry too much about them. Also, my best score, there's the kind of the total there. Wow, I actually really tried in the first world. I actually feel kind of bad for not trying this time. Because, I mean, I definitely could have racked up a decent score if I felt like it. Maybe someday I will do a playthrough of Yoshi Story, trying to get every single melon. That could actually be a lot of fun. But it's definitely, a thing. So of course it is a story, so the point is after you beat a level, it adds a part to the story. And once you beat the game, it takes all these kind of world endings and puts them together into Yoshi's Story. Funny how that works out, huh? But yeah. The way it works is that World 3 and World 6 levels end with bosses. The bosses in each of the levels in World 2 are all in World 3 are all different. So like level 1 in World 3 has a different boss than level 2 in World 3. Although World 6, every single level ends with the same boss, which is kind of a shame. But again, I mean, there's just, unfortunately, not too much depth to this game unless you put in that extra effort to explore each level, expansively. This level has always been kind of fun. It's springs all over the place, and you want to get all the fruit. Let's get that and that. These flowers right here act as infinite health. They just keep coming back. You don't get any points for eating them, which is what the hearts there aren't filled in with red. That's what that means, that you're not getting any points for those. But If you are missing health somehow at the very beginning of the level, that flower can help you with that. Also, we didn't really see many Shy Guys in the last level. He has a pepper on his head, which is not good. What you want to do is you want to switch the Shy Guy to your color by ground pounding the ground, and then when you jump on him, you'll get more points, as you saw above Yoshi's head there, than if you jumped on him when he was a color that did not match the Yoshi that you were using. So, things to keep in mind for all you, aspiring Yoshi Story high score world record makers there. As I'm sure, there's a thriving community of players of this game. I wonder what the Yoshi Story community is like. Are there people out there demanding another game like Yoshi Story? I wonder. There's probably someone out there who would love to see a Yoshi Story too. Honestly, I wouldn't really complain. I mean, maybe if it had a bit more length to it, and it wasn't, like, just overall, just the whole fact that I wish that levels had an actual ending. Like, you could get as much fruit as you wanted, but then you had to find the end. I think that would be cool. But the way that the levels just end after finding 30 fruit, it's really kind of anticlimactic, because most of the time, it's like, it's just too easy. But I don't know, maybe that's just me, I don't know. What do you think of Yoshi's Story? Again, comments down below are appreciated. Heck yeah! Anyway, what's this thing? Question mark blocks are usually melons. I mean, I'm not going to complain about that. Let's see here. Continuing our way up. You can shoot while you're in the air, although it's not the most, easy thing to do. And just like that, we're, over almost halfway to completing our level here. Sometimes you'll hit the question mark blocks, and these 5 coins will come out, and collecting all of them will give you a melon. What else would you expect it to give you? Maybe a big heart. Big hearts are always fun to collect. It's just kind of like, wow, there's only 3 of them in each level. Big hearts are almost like the star coins, or green stars, of, the new Super Mario Brothers and the Mario 3D Land series. When you think about it. Anyway, you can go in here. Ah, man, I don't have a thing to break this with. What this thing right here is you eat it. I remember as a kid, I never really understood how it worked, because, as a kid, I never really understood how things work. You eat it, and then Yoshi turns into an egg. And what you have to do is you have to flick the control stick in the direction that you want to launch, and it does kind of take a little bit of getting used to. Actually, how does it work again? I don't think I'm kind of not doing it the right way, but that is one way to do it. It's a very weird object. Man, I wish I had eggs for these things. Not like it's going to be any trouble collecting 30 fruits anyway, but oh well. Also, some of the music in this game is very good, I have to admit. It does have very nice music, but definitely better than, like, Yoshi's Island DS, or even Yoshi's Island 3DS. Actually, I haven't played enough of that to judge it, although from what I've heard, Miles Luigi has been telling me all about it. Also, as a kid, this freaking leaf fluttering thing was the worst thing in the universe. Is there a secret down here, though? Before I do that, I do want to see... Yes, finally some eggs! I've been without eggs for, like, way too long now. What do you have to say? A big egg? Yes, so this is... I believe this is where you find the white Yoshi down here, actually. If I did not already have him. There would be a white Yoshi egg, and if you take that to the end of the level, you would, of course, get white Yoshi. So if I had lost him, I could have easily come back here and gotten him again. But yes, this thing right here, it actually works exactly like the cape from Super Mario World, which again, as a kid, I didn't really understand how it worked, where, you go down and then you press back on the controller, and you'll kind of, do a thing where you get some height there. It's just physics. We're not a thing that, you understand when you're 5 years old. Also, vases can be inside of question mark bubbles, because why not? And that teleports us to here. What do you have to say, block guy? Oh, yes. This is something we have seen, although... I don't understand why you had to hit the question mark block for that. Also, yes, this is the melon race. Actually, no, that's right, we haven't seen the melon race. We saw the other kind of minigame. The way this works is we have that chain chomp guy there, and he's going after our melons! No! After my, my trick cereal. No, who's after? No. Who's always that? Oh, it's like Barney after his pebbles. I don't know. The point is, you want to get to the end before the chain chomp starts eating the melons. And if you can get there before he eats the 7, then you'll get all 7 of them. Although if he eats the 6, or if he eats the 7, and there you go. So now we're down to 6 melons. I don't know. I've been doing really well. I have no idea. I would expect you to do much better than that. But with that said, we get 4 melons. So unfortunately, not enough to give us the invincibility or anything like that. But we're still pretty much done the level, and we haven't even seen very much of it. We only got the number 2 checkpoint not too long ago. What happens is, usually when you get to the end of the level, if you don't have enough fruit yet, usually, because you've chosen not to get enough fruit, not because you haven't found enough, there will usually be a vase that takes you back to the beginning, although if you've been getting the checkpoints, you can just teleport between them anyway, so it's not usually too much of an issue to get back to places that you want to be. So there's a fruit, and there's number 3 guy, and there's a fruit, and we have, gigantic cookies here. No, they look kind of like cookies, but they're not cookies. We also have Raven guys from Yoshi's Island. That's why I say it's kind of like the sequel to Yoshi's Island, because a lot of things from Yoshi's Island definitely come back in this game, despite the fact that it's definitely not Yoshi's Island. I mean, there's no Baby Mario, or any of that stuff. But it's still a fun game, despite its, flaws, which I think I have pointed out more than enough times. Anyway, 3 more fruit things, and we will be good. There's 1, there's 2, and thank you, I think I can count that we need 1 more. What is in this thing? 1 final melon. I wanted to do that. There we go. Although, as I said, all the levels in World 3 have a boss, so we would normally be done the level, but as the screen shatters away, we have a foe to fight. And it is a face. Creative, I know. No, actually, this is actually a pretty fun boss. It kind of blends in with the background. His name is Inviso. I wonder where they ever came up with that. Peekaboo, who are you? Peekabee, you can't find me, or can't find me. I added in words there, but no one will ever know. Basically, eat guys, get eggs, eat more guys, get more eggs, eat more guys, get more eggs, more guys. And you just kind of need to look for where the background is kind of moving, and you'll be able to tell where he is. So I could see that there, although I still kind of flew into him. So yeah, I just kind of need to keep finding where he is located. The bosses in this game are fairly simple, nothing overly complicated, although in Yoshi's Island, actually Yoshi's Island, some of the bosses were pretty intricate, plus you had 2 of them per world for a total of 12 bosses. So yeah, Yoshi's Island definitely had a few things up on this, considering you'd think that a game on the 64 would be have more depth than a game on the Super Nintendo. It definitely wasn't really the case here. Because yeah, I mean, you have Yoshi's Island where you had all of those collectibles. You had the 5 flowers, you had the red coins, and you had to make sure you had enough stars, and you still had to find the end. Like, I think that's the way that Yoshi's Story should have done it, where you have to, find the fruit and still find the end. But they obviously didn't think that was a good idea. So who am I to say what Nintendo should have done with their crazy game? Also, it does addition for you, because addition is difficult. And there you go! Page 3 is complete. And then that's another thing, too. It would have been interesting if you had to play through the levels in a row, page 3-1-2-3-4, and then move on to page 2, but the fact that you just do 6 levels and then you beat the game, again, just makes it feel shorter and, not as, big as it could have been. But it has its problems, but I still recommend playing Yoshi Story if you ever get the chance. And the page turned, and everyone grew happier. Except for the guy who didn't grow happier. Ah, yes, page 4 was always a fun one, especially the 3rd level, Piranha Grove. I have fond memories of that level. Definitely not the easiest thing, but I think we've played enough Yoshi Story for today. This would be one of those things, do a playthrough in a night because it's so short. And then, see just how many melons I can find. Maybe that's an idea to put on the back burner for a future thing. But until then, play this game if you ever get the chance. It's not bad. It's not the best Yoshi game ever made. I'd still say that Yoshi's Island on the Super Nintendo is probably better, although it's still fun. So if you ever get the chance, give it a shot. Also, Nintendo really liked the whole paper theme, because as you can see, Paper Mario, Paper Piranha's here. Hey, this could be, this actually reminds me a lot of Chapter 5 of Paper Mario. I wonder if this was the inspiration for it. Actually, which game came out first? Now I'm confused. Don't have my release dates down. I should really have them. But anyway, no more rambling. Thanks for watching this. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you next time for something different. So thanks, and see you later.